Hello and a warm welcome to the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. I am Ifoma Wajinta. Now daily, people from all walks of life lament the near absence of ethical values in the society, which if not checked, will continue to have adverse effects on the general populace. This necessitated stakeholders to deliberate on the way forward. Wayne Dogo reports.
The review and presentation of the book Ethical Dilemma by Tajuddin Toyin Oke gave guests the opportunity to talk about ethical issues in Nigeria in commemoration of this year's Democracy Day.
To build a nation, you need people with ethical and moral upbringing.
But of course, they disobeyed God and ethics. And that is the problem we are facing today.
They say society creates crime, then individuals commit them. So the truth is, who is actually at fault here?
The psyche of the younger ones. How are we going to work on them?
Some of the speakers highlighted that self-reliance, integrity, social justice, discipline, dignity in labor are some of the ethical values that should be encouraged and sustained in Nigeria's democracy. The author of the 189-page book said for society to be able to tackle the issues of ethics, there is a need to look at the state of the nation.
Our final stage is to be able to have an agency for ethics and value compliance. This agency is structured in such a way that it's not just about compliance in the government agencies or government ministries, but in private sectors. The bill is before the National Assembly and it's still at the House of Reps. We are believing that it will be passed to the Senate, and from there we are hoping that the President will sign it.
Someone who can't afford a meal a day, or who is not assured of a meal a day, when he sees any means of obtaining that meal or money to purchase that meal, he's most likely to take that option rather than, irrespective of whether it's the right or the wrong thing to do, due to his desperation.
He noted that citizens can start by electing ethical leaders into office and engaging youths at the grassroots level. This, he added, informed the reason for engaging schools and their students in order to instill values in the young population. Wayne Dogo, NTA News.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is spearheading a partnership with the ECOWAS member countries aimed at advancing their economic prosperity. Royal Court's advisor to the Kingdom, Ahmadu bin Abdulaziz, says with the synergy with African countries seeks to promote and actualize sustainable development goals by its target date of 2030. Aisha Abdullahi reports that ECOWAS president and other representatives of other countries were in attendance.
Royal Court advisor Ahmadu bin Abdulaziz Katan speaking in the Vision 2030 for all African countries on the Economic Commission of West African States ECOWAS, that the economic pillar aims to benefit the member states. He affirmed that the vision is expected to harness the diverse economic components in accordance to an integrated development framework and investment project. The advisor further emphasized the position in support of security, peace, and stability of the region.
For that, you will be invited also to be in Saudi Arabia during the two summits.
President of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean Cassi, says since the creation of the Commission in 1975, the regional body has strived to facilitate the realization of the aspiration of nearly 400 million community citizens from 15 member states in a collective quest to fulfill the vision of its founders' fathers for building of a strong integrated region.
Your Excellency, this achievement could not have been done without strategic cooperation and alliances forged by ECOWAS and its international partner from various parts of the world.
The advisor of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia says the World Expo 2030 in Riyadh is exceptional and will chart a new global platform where countries will meet to discover innovations and programs that will help in pioneering the ECOWAS nations on new beneficial economic fronts. Aisha Abdullahi, NTA News.
In the meantime, in line with global trends, the FCT Primary Healthcare Board is particular about sustaining the COVID-19 gains on vaccination. Aisha Uba Ali reports that the board is engaging the media on how to fast-track achieving the June targets.
The COVID-19 Response Center Committee was inaugurated a few months back, and this committee is saddled with the responsibility of helping the Primary Healthcare Board in creating more awareness on the issues relating and concerning COVID-19. But the issues raised at this particular meeting today is on the global relaxation of COVID-19 protocols, which is affecting the progress made so far by countries. Although the FCT has maintained its second position in the North Central chart of vaccination coverage, however, recommendation of speakers at the meeting harped on the need for residents to continue observing non-pharmaceutical measures.
The NYSC camp in the university, they should make sure that they talk to the NYSC secretariat and the school boards, even with the NAPS, that is proprietors of private school and private schools. They should be able to maintain that without COVID-19 card, they cannot access offices.
Issues of hesitancy and misconception are still hampering the vaccination program. However, on the other hand, the good news is that Nigerians from 8 to 12 can now take COVID-19 vaccine. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
What does it take to provide selfless service to society and give quality time and attention to carry out statutory duties in support of government's efforts in actualizing safe and sane environments for motorists and road users through management control? These were questions which resonated at the induction of vehicle inspectors and road traffic officers for the FCT. Hawa Gimba reports.
Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, harbors people from different backgrounds, employed personnel and civil servants in various ministries and parastatals coming in daily from their homes to city center for work. The road networks and highways are so busy with vehicular movement from dawn to dusk. Oftentimes, there are traffic congestion and road accidents. Traffic management thereby becomes imperative. But thanks to the Directorate of Traffic Services, a lot has been done, one of which is the new inductees into road traffic management and the VIO to ensure free flow of traffic both in the city center and around the 6 area councils. Following the induction of volunteers by the Directorate of Traffic Services, Abdulatif Bello says,
as the FCT is growing in population, both human and vehicular traffic, there is need for us to look out for, support responsibilities.
House of Representative member Ahmed Tijani Damisa says it is a welcome development and urge residents and commuters plying roads in the FCT to comply with rules and regulations guiding road traffic management.
Because the only way this country can be better is to squeeze, sometimes little time out of your precious time to serve the country selflessly.
Senior Special Assistant to the FCT Minister on Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement, Ata Ikairo says all hands must be on deck to support all those who are key players.
What we will be doing with them is to really do more advocacy so that people will see them on the road.
With an influx of a lot of people, and the traffic is becoming a thing of chaos, so we need to step in to discongest the traffic.
For long, desire to have an opportunity to give back to the society.
The Directorate urged residents and commuters to give maximum cooperation to all serving traffic officers as well as the new inductees. Hawagimba, NTA News.
More than 20 families of police officers and men in the FCT who paid the supreme price in the line of duty have been presented with checks. FCT Commissioner of Police Sunday Babaji represented the Inspector General of Police. Asabe Williams reports that the gesture is to ameliorate the suffering of family members left behind.
While presenting the checks, FCT Police Commissioner Sunday Babaji appreciated the Inspector General of Police for assisting in reducing the hardship faced by the families of the deceased police officers and men. He urged the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the money for the betterment of their families.
Believe me when I say there is no greater honor than the honor of serving one's land with sweat, passion, love, and blood. Today we can forge ahead because of the great sacrifices of our heroes and on whose strength we depend. We are here to celebrate and not to compensate them because nothing given can equate to their sacrifice or services rendered. We enjoin you to take this token in remembrance of them and make little ends meet. Though gone, we shall continue to remember and honor them.
The initiative is part of the Inspector General's Family Group Life Assurance Check Scheme, aimed at supporting families to move on in life after the demise of their breadwinners. In Abuja, Asabe Williams, NTA News.
Let's now pause to take some messages. More reports in a moment. Please stay with us.
The immediate cause of the latest queues in Abuja remains unknown.
Conceived with the intent to ease the flow of traffic in the nation's capital.
Whichever way it turns out, either to consolidate on the existing mandate or institute a new dispensation.
Located within the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMA.
How much do people know about ADR? Are charting a part to having more youth participate in governance, in addition to building young entrepreneurs.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are calling on the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, look into the situation.
You have to strike a balance to have a future that you don't have to regret.
Like experts say, what kills really is fear.
In Abuja,
NTA News.
Thanks for staying tuned. And to education now, the number of out-of-school children is alarmingly on the increase, and this is giving educators much concern. The 2022 African Education Conference, with the theme Tracking Out-of-School Children, is reviewing the challenge, strengthening partnership among stakeholders. Deborah Gazaji-Maika reports.
These are children which should be in the classroom but are here on the streets. This conference intends to seek permanent solutions to these obvious acts. Presently, insecurity is also a contributory factor of the emerging number of out-of-school children in the country, as deliberated upon by the Association for Formidable Education Development, AFID.
About poverty, it's not about, because a lot of people, even in decades ago, went to school with poverty. They were children of poor people, but they knew what they were doing because they were comprehending what they were teaching them then. But now, there is a gap.
What we have done over the years, number of children we have been able to take into classes, and possibly how we can collaborate with government. Because low-cost private school, I must tell you, somehow started its prominence in Nigeria.
teachers who made up the much population of participants are being reminded to take advantage of the evolving media, the 5G upgraded network launched by the federal government through its communication arm, not to be left behind.
Video went viral on social media and she got support from the masses. She's in school now. You remember the girl I'm talking about? Success. You know, that is the role of social media.
Sports is a tool that can be used to track students or people that are out of school, so that wherever they are, they may not get carried away with social vices. They can be engaged physically and mentally.
The event had participants from all walks of life, Nigeria and diaspora, all yearning to learn and improve themselves towards contributing to better the education of children in Nigeria. Deborah Naika, NTA News.
It was first initiated by the Organization of African Union to honor those who participated in the Soweto uprising in 1976. The day is to raise awareness on the continuous need for improved education of the African child. Hawagimba takes a look at how the African child is celebrated all over the world.
To the day of the African child. Every child in Africa must be happy. That's why my heart is a beat like do.
Every 16th of June is celebrated as the Day of the African Child. The day features assessment of progress made on children's rights, especially as it relates to education, health, basic social amenities, as well as freedom from violence. The day originated from Soweto after more than 10,000 black children protested the poor quality of education in their country, walking for more than a mile as they also demanded to be taught in their own language that could easily be understood. In Nigeria, statistics reveal that about 13.5 million children are out of school. The reason for the large number, despite several interventions, is not far-fetched, as hundreds of school children have been abducted from their school by insurgents, with many being displaced along with their parents due to insecurity. As the African countries commemorated the International Day of the African Child, many are of the opinion that issues of education, health, as well as security of the Nigerian child is seriously looked at.
Educational system, it's not so good. There are still so many things that's impacted on.
Like me, I'm happy to be in Nigeria, but the country we are not benefiting from Nigeria what is the young ones supposed to benefit.
Being an African child, it's amazing and not amazing, because it's like the former generation when we had childhood, not like now. Everybody's digital, parents don't even care about their children.
We need an Africa where everyone has respect, empathy, and love for children.
We need a world that is free from any form of child abuse or child neglect.
An Africa with good health system. An Africa where children's privacy, honor, and reputation are respected and protected. Africa where children can play and play and play. An Africa that is beautiful for children. Africa where children are safe.
Africa where children are well fed. Africa where children's rights are respected and protected.
An Africa where children are included.
The theme for the 2022 celebration is Eliminating Harmful Practices Affecting Children, Progress on Policy and Practice since 2013. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Let's talk sports now. AFCC FC defeats debutant male Lantaki Care FC 2-1 to win the FC FA Cup final end of regulations time after losing it the previous year, as Niger Rattles defeats Joy Sports Queens to win the female category. Gideon Johanna reports that the game was spiced with drama and lots of lessons to take home.
While Male and Turkey, a debuting side, showed class and readiness to defend the journey so far, EFCC proved experience is all that matters, given that they lost the previous one. As such, their ability to bring down a newcomer was not a difficult task.
I thank God for the victory. We all dedicate the cup to God because we ask Him and He grant us the successful victory today. Let His name be praised. We want to use this cup to encourage others from behind that with your determination and trust in God, all things are possible.
Worthy of note, good and bad officiating is part of the game, and the better side will always have their win, while the underperforming will fight another day. Spectators, however, called for an improved balancing that will not leave others aggrieved.
Winning team, I congratulate them, but they all tried. Our team is only 1 year in the system, and we're able to get to the final.
It was a very nice game by us, even though not the result we wanted, but the game was very fine and good. It's just the officiating. It was not, is it at our favor or something, but alhamdulillah.
Nobody loses a match. There's always a clause to why he lost. But I think we should begin to, drift our minds away from those type of attitude. We must be able to keep abreast with the world standard of football. We don't need to begin to fight when there are people that are there to officiate the game for us. We should look at it. But for me, personally, the referee did wonderfully well.
The FCT Sports Administration says it looks forward to greater collaboration and pray that more events as this be encouraged, because sport is a better force to unify and promote peaceful coexistence among Nigerian youths. In Abuja, Gideon Yohana, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria midfielder Joe Aribo has been named the World Football Ironman as Costa Rica has claimed the last Qatar 2022 World Cup tickets. Let's join Francisca Bele for details of these and more on Sports Brief.
Joe Aribo was named World Football Ironman after making more appearances than any other player across the globe this season. The Nigerian midfielder has made 71 appearances for both club and country, more than any other player in the season under review. Meanwhile, Costa Rica became the last team to qualify for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar with victory over New Zealand. Ex-Arsenal player Joel Campbell scored just 2 minutes into the game. In tennis, Nick Kyrgios beat world number 6 Stefanos Tsitsipas at the Halle Open, smashing his racket and arguing with the umpire during the match. The Australian, ranked 65th, came back to beat Greek Tsitsipas 5-7, 6-2, 6-4. With Sport Brief, Francisca Bile, NTA News.
And away from sports, our delegation, led by the Acting Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Abdul Hamid Dembos, has paid a condolence visit to the family of Ibrahim Damisa, a former executive director training with the NTA, over the demise of his wife, Mariam Damisa, who died last Sunday after a brief illness. Abdul Malik Hassan reports.
Here comes the arrival of the NTA management staff, but the atmosphere met was gloomy. Family and friends seated with the bereaved to mourn his late wife, Hajia Mariam Damisa. Indeed, a great loss for Ibrahim Damisa, as his companion of about 40 years is gone, but his pain is felt even among the NTA family.
Well, we have done the prayers. We pray that God will grant her eternal peace, and may her gentle soul rest in perfect peace.
Mariam is a very, very big loss. A wonderful individual, a pious woman, a very, very kind-hearted person. Whenever you come near her, you like her because of what she is.
We thank God for her life, for what she has left behind, for love, for care, and for being a keeper of home, and of course, an inculcator of the true values of her religion.
Prayers offered for the repose of the soul of the deceased. Mariam Damisa left behind her husband and 5 children. Abdul Malik Hassan, NTA News.
And that concludes the 1 p.m. news. We thank you for watching. Do join us again at 7 for more news. Have a good afternoon.